Greetings. Just a brief, yes, hopefully brief. I know I always say that. Video reflection, just inviting you in. I'm here at, I don't even remember the name of the beach. It's just right outside of Santa Barbara Airport. I had a little bit of time, so I just took my rollaway suitcase on the small busy street with no sidewalks, hardly any ramps, floods. Took photos and videos of that, by the way. You know, it had bus stops, lots of people depend on these corridors. So it's tough for those who have no choice but to walk by foot in all areas. So Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And I am, you know, I'm walking, I feel, at least in my body and my heart, really, really close all day to mostly the black women in my life who are just every hour of every day risking so much to speak and honor and move their voices. As I'm talking, I'm picking up these really beautiful pieces. It's probably one of my favorite things to do. Their voices, their lives, their work. I think about my dear friend, Reverend Dr. Duval, who is a co-founder with Reverend Tawana of Soul to Soul Sisters, and all the work they're doing to create and educate and move anti-black racism work within churches and community. I think I said that right. Maybe I didn't say that right. Anti-black racism, yeah. So they have an amazing program called Facing Racism, where they go into just various churches and educate and anchor and center around the lives of black community, black people in this country, knowing our history and knowing our complete lack of human dignity around slave ownership. It's real, it's a part of our history, and they hold such sacred space around how to move into that honestly, humbly, but openly. My dear friend Christena Cleveland, who does her work, her new organization is the Center for Justice and Renewal. A lot of the same work. She's really smart. See that plane go by. And sorry, we've got lots of people all of a sudden. Hold on one second. Hi there. You know, her work is really powerful. She just finished doing a lot of writing and documenting and experiencing the Black Madonnas in France as a way of, and I don't want to put words in her space, but just as an observer, just being inspired by, but also moving a message much like that of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. And I think also about just so many people in my life who are, with their bodies and their hearts and their minds and their families and their everyday survival, just fighting powerful systems and structures that keep a certain group of people more comfortable than most. And I don't want this to be a political video, but sometimes it shows up very loud and clear in politics. I am a not unaffiliated voter. I think the two-party lines are they carry so much false reality with them. It makes me, it actually makes me crazy. We do our best to organize. We do our best. We try and figure it out. We're trying. So I'm moving along the water, and I'm moving here, and I'm just about to head back to Colorado. I was out here, an amazing trip with a friend, with two dear friends who are patrons and supporters of a lot of this creative work, Randall Day and Mark Benson, connected to the Episcopal churches here in this community. We did some beautiful walks connected to just contemplative spirit and slowing down, being more available, being more open, being more present, being more engaged, being more alive with each other, with our communities, and with ourselves. And I love that. I love that work. And so I think about what they're hosting and holding, Randall and Mark and Trinity Church and St. Mark's in the Valley, the groups that I worked with out here, and the invitation to have me out and to host some of these experiences related to today, Martin Luther King Jr. And more specifically, I think of, to me, heroes and teachers like Bayard Rustin and Reverend Dr. Howard Thurman, who were both advisors to Martin Luther King. Bayard Rustin being an out gay black male alongside that movement, and who was largely kind of pushed to the shadows because of his orientation, but was such a fierce teacher for radical transformation work in the inner spaces and also all of the outer spaces. Dr. Howard Thurman, an amazing book I'll recommend. I'll put the link to it or a photo of it in this post. But Jesus and the Disinherited that he wrote, every drop of that book related to this big and often mysterious question of what is it really to be a Christian in our time, to actually live it, walk it, breathe it. It's not, it's not as easy as sometimes it gets spelled out in ideas and in intellectual frames. How we actually live this out is a complex, important, critical, and beautiful question. So the title of this video is, I titled it Discomfort and Love, because, as I walk on this water and as I'm privileged as hell to be out in California when I live in Colorado and talking about walking, but then flying here and all the paradox and all of that, I'm just walking with the water, trying to really listen, trying to take more risk, trying to be more authentic, more and more open and authentic and more human, where these new tables that we build include all the people, not just some of the people, not just some of the people that build the tables, build the systems, and then they decide who's in and who's out, but that we're all building the tables. So it's for all of us from the beginning. And that's, to me, what this work is about. And we have a lot of immature people making it into these political riffraff frames, and it's unfortunate because it's really more about human dignity. It's more about loving each other a lot better and a lot harder. It's more about I am you and you are me. And Dr. Howard Thurman, who advised Martin Luther King Jr., his writing speaks so loudly to this, that we have got to personally transform. And in that personal transformation, we are going to make people uncomfortable. We will be uncomfortable. And it has to be uncomfortable. Transformation is not easy. It's not easy for any creature who's transforming to be comfortable in that growth, in that widening, in that deepening. And so, just as an invitation, as I come out of this beautiful journey, walking with a lot of beautiful people, and also into the day of just honoring a civil rights movement that is far from over and far from, you'll have a lot of people posting what's called Reclaim MLK, just to really get into examining what are we still playing into, what are we still putting our dollars into, what are we still speaking into without knowing it, that keeps so many people far from harmony, from human thriving, from human love, from human connection, from all the things that keeps us healthy and connected. And so be invited to be uncomfortable, and be invited to hold the hands of all people in love. I'm okay with making you uncomfortable, and I still love you. I love you. You're here. We're in this together. I am you, you are me. And let's get uncomfortable. Let's open things up. Let's deepen things. Let's widen things. Let's ask harder questions. Let's say no to things that just don't feel right about how it treats people on the other side of this transaction. Let's actually start banking with local banks and not feed into systems of money and power that we have no idea where our money's going. Let's support more indigenous, black, brown, beautiful, unique human spirits that are holding feminine, queer energies that are going to take us into more mysterious, beautiful, loving, healing time. It is a space that I am just so passionate about, and that I offer in love and discomfort. So thank you, dear people, for floating with me. This has been an 11-minute video, and I'm running late to walk back to the airport. So I really had aspirations for 4 minutes. Anyway, sending peace. Have grace on my words and how they came out. I hope you are hearing the vibration, and that we are moving in love and in discomfort together forward. Cheers.